Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode of the EVE Online 30-Day Challenge, where I am now really starting to feel like I really am playing the game. The game's not playing me like it was in the first few days. I am playing it, which is really great. So I'm really pleased with that. Just for grins, we're going to look at Summer Blink here real quick and see if there's anything. Nah, no, none of the promo. Ooh, what's that? Sisters Expanded Probe Launcher. Never heard of that before, but sounds interesting. Okay, nothing too big going on there. Let's see. Let me bring the guys in TeamSpeak on.
Started after
hello, guys. How are you?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Good. Hi.
I know I never give you guys any warning. I just turn you on mid-sentence, and you guys are like, what the hell?
We're having a little lesson on the lore behind EVE Online.
Ah, the lore. Okay. So what is the lore behind EVE Online?
Well, we were originally speaking about the lore behind incursions and the mechanics of incursions.
Mm-hmm.
And how the incursions are basically an invasion against the four empires by the Sancha Nation, led by Sancha Kubake.
Okay.
Kubakai. Which is basically one of the pirate factions invading all these other people and stealing people, or kidnapping mass amounts of people to feed into his slave army.
But no players get taken into slavery, though, do they?
No, we get paid to kill the Sancha, which is basically killing the people that they abduct and turn into slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Eve, such a pleasant place.
Yeah, I just said last week that they are the Borg of EVE Online.
Ah, yes.
Ooh, very, very good analogy.
Yeah.
Except Sancha's Nation would kill the Borg.
Yeah, they're infinitely more ruthless.
Yeah, and their ships have spikes.
Oh, so that
they're
makes
not
them
cute.
all the worse.
Yeah, I like the spiky ships.
So,
Hello, by the way.
hey, Brian.
Yes, hello.
Oh, yes, Brian here. Look at my bounty on the screen there. So he went to even it out. He went to do that high math while somebody else at the same time put in 333,333 ESC. And so now I'm at 63,333,333.
I warn you, Markee,
Yeah?
you shouldn't talk about the bounty.
Why?
It only encourages people.
I know. Don't you think I caught on to that? You know.
Rule number 1 about the bounty: do not talk about the bounty.
Well, here, I was thinking that, like next year if I go to EVE Fan Fest or whatnot, that I was going to have to bring bodyguards or something so I don't get ganked in the hallways.
You have to be one of those guys who dresses up as his character portrait.
Ooh. You know,
That's a good
my
idea.
guy is pretty classy looking, and I could do that.
Markee Dragon cosplay.
Oh my god.
Well, you're essentially cosplaying as yourself.
I'm still going to jump on you just for the bounty.
Get someone to make that shirt and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty ornate. It's almost like a Japanese style thing. And I actually would actually wear something like that too, I think. So, I'm not just gonna run in there with a cape that has a giant dragon on the back.
There's a guy on YouTube who does the EVE Community Spotlight. I don't know his channel name, but he dresses up in an Amarian robe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a couple of guys that always show up at FunFest that wear their Amarian robes. They fly with the Couriers Versus Alliance, I think.
Well, you already have the hair, and you got the glasses, just
Right.
not black.
Right. Well, I could put on some sunglasses, and those are like blacked out
Ray-Bans.
aviators.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Is anybody know offhand just want a confirmation on this. Is Curators Veritas is that not the oldest alliance? Oldest surviving?
Not sure.
Don't remember right offhand, sorry.
Yeah, that's just ringing a bell.
Yeah, there are a bunch of role-playing Amar turrets.
I was
Super
depressed.
nationalistic.
Yeah.
You were
I was
depressed?
slightly depressed that I was watching the stream for FanFest, and I noticed that when they had a picture, they were talking about bounties. They had a picture of flums on the PowerPoint, and not you. I was like,
Oh yeah,
"What?"
it's because I shot to number 1 during FanFest.
Yeah, the
During
day,
that
the
stream, actually,
day
you
after. The day after you shot up to the top.
Yeah. So,
And that's also the reason why the Marmites and Horse are acting all crazy, because the Horse were above Marmites, shown up on the screen on FanFest.
oh,
I
yeah.
thought it's just because of the alliance name.
Oh, this stuff. So, my bounty is going up even more. Sausages put another 3 million on it, and
I sent
and
you
then
a,
1.1 million.
I sent you a PM in Twitch for a link to YouTube you should watch.
Oh yeah, I'll try and get to those. I get too many messages. Most definitely.
You probably just got 20 now.
Well, I can tell you that I don't read them all, and it's not a function of just trying to ignore them. It's that I just run out of time. So, in my YouTube stuff, I have probably over 1,000 unread messages in my YouTube, and I actively try and get through all of them. But as I bring them back down, they just go right back up.
This is a problem that a lot of YouTubers have, where they ask people to send in messages. They actually, like, Total Biscuit has to have like 4 or 5 people look through his messages to see what's interesting.
Yeah, my wife has offered to go through and delete all the flack and junk, and then leave the good ones for me, which may happen. I feel kind of guilty though about not responding to everybody, but it's just not possible. Is what I've come to the conclusion.
It would be like a second job.
Yeah.
Ink is out of work. You can hire him to answer your mail.
You want to answer? You know what? He'd be like, okay, you got this great idea for a video. Fuck you. That would be the reply that he would give. He would be like, Markee will only film that if there's a corpse there.
Send me some naked pictures and I will think about it.
Yeah. So.
Markee.
Yeah.
Taking you back to the FanFest thing, can I sign up for a bodyguard position?
Oh yeah, dude! Have you guys seen Thor's a picture of Thor? Dude is buff. So, yeah, you do not look like the average gamer. I shall say that.
Not a gamer.
He's not a gamer.
No, not really. Not anymore.
Not anymore. What are you doing here? Obviously.
Playing games, but I wouldn't call myself a gamer.
Oh, you play Eve though, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay, you're a gamer. How many hours a week do you play?
No. Eve is not a game.
Okay,
it is real life.
Okay, how many hours a week do you play? Do you play Eve?
15 plus.
Okay. Hardcore is defined as 20 hours or more a week. So you're up near the hardcore range, hardcore gamer range. That is a true definition. Hardcore gamer, 20 hours a week or more in video games.
Okay, I'm a gamer, but I'm not a good gamer. How about that one?
Well, that totally describes me. I just fake it till I make it. I actually am pretty good in. I'm not too bad in World of Tanks now, that I've been playing for this amount of time. But still, you know, um, I don't know. You know, people who are really good in these games, they spend an enormous amount of time working on playing the games, just like professional athletes, I'd say. So I don't know that I can ever obtain that. I have to like make money somewhere in between to make a living and everything. So
So if you achieve more than 40 hours a week of gameplay, does that usually generally mean you have no life, or?
yeah, and that describes me. You know, when I started playing on the first MMO, Ultima Online, I was working 40 hours a week and playing 40 hours a week. And then finally I quit my day job so that I could play, you know, I ended up playing 60, 70 hours a week. But at that point I was making money in the game, so, you know, it became my job, which is cool. I mean, I can't complain that, you know, I can sit here and I can play Eve and learn all of this and everything, and effectively I'm getting paid for it because we sell it. And, you know, so this just kind of naturally brings people to buy from us. But, you know, I guess it is still work at the same time.
I did link your page the other day in both Onia and Militia Chat.
Mm-hmm. And did you use an affiliate link?
I'm not an affiliate.
Oh, well, see, if you signed up as an affiliate, then you would get you'd get a commission for sales that were referred. There's a lot of corps that we support that the corp will put up a link to us with an affiliate, and they bring that back to support like the corp website and stuff. So
there was one comment someone said, "Oh, that website looks terrible."
Oh, thanks. I feel much better now.
Like they didn't like HTML or something.
You know, it's an older design, but you know, it does exactly what we need, and I really like it. But you know, that's just me. I didn't want to look like Amazon, so
Yes.
or to look like the last company that I owned. So wanted it to be
Simple.
different. Okay, so it looks like a few more players. Sent me a million here. I want to lather your head with oil. What? Andy Lowles. And then, so Crimson F. He says, "Say my name just like last night." Oh yeah, man, it was good. What the hell? I am secure enough in my manhood that I can joke about that. So
You were talking about mature players, if I remember correctly.
yes, am I mature?
No, people wanting to oil up your head and things like that. That's very mature.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess it's my first wife had an encounter one time where this woman who was a fan of my videos, she decided to come to my house, and yeah, she showed up at my house, and while I was gone to work, and she showed up there and started talking to my wife, and I get there, I get home, and my wife has kind of this, you know, this guest in the front room talking to her, and I'm like thinking it's one of her friends or something like that, and she's got kind of this puzzled look on her face, and then she's like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" So we go in the other room, and she says, "I think this woman is a fan and would really like to take you away from me." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well." So I went out there, said hello, shook her hand, and then said, "Well, I'm sorry, we got some things to do. We'll see you later." But talked to my wife for an hour. So,
That comment on your wallet there, I looked up. Pretty much, if you can think of a name, it's probably going to be in EVE Online, and I just looked up George Costanza, and there is a guy who kind of looks like George Costanza.
mm-hmm.
That's what I also love about this game. You can make any name, and nobody cares. They don't have Care Bears in CCP.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah, you can't make all. You cannot do just what you want to. There are some restrictions.
Okay,
Those
so
restrictions are almost non-existent. If you have a brain, you don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a mail to the goons where someone was setting up a pause and put the modules in a swastika, and the CCP said that that was not appropriate behavior.
well, hate crimes or racial stuff. I don't know of any companies that really allow that. Not real companies. I mean,
Nope.
But it is interesting to have the F word in someone's name here and everything. So do they? They don't care about anybody's names. I mean, my brother had a character in WoW named Oprah, and
Copyright, I think.
Yeah. Well, he had been running that character for a couple of years before they made him change the name.
Mm.
And
The problem is, if somebody is reporting the name, then they will act. If nobody's reporting the name, they don't care, because they cannot change and check a whole bunch of player names.
Right.
I mean,
the filter doesn't always catch it.
Oprah is just a word. I mean, you have Opera browser and...
No, that's Opera.
Opera. I mean, you can check in people and places if there are characters by that name in EVE. I mean, it's really simple. Just click people and places and
do a search.
Write the name in search string.
One of my alt characters, for some reason they wouldn't allow my alt character's name the way I wanted to spell it. Yet there's like dozens and dozens of other characters that have FU in it. And mine is not a 4-letter word. It's nothing. So the filter can be really weird at times.
There are plenty of Oprahs in here.
Yeah.
Where's Winfrey?
Any male Oprah?
Oh yeah, there's even Oprah Winfrey here.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's a guy, but what the hell? This is
maybe?
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, that is one thing they haven't allowed in this game. That's cross-dressing. So they're haters. I mean,
Would you
could put your guy in a dress, just
I would lose a lot of respect for this game if they did that.
You can have a dress, just make an Amar.
Yeah, of course.
It's not a dress, it's a robe.
Tell that to the Scot.
So with all the names and everything here, I guess would they? Okay, so if I were to, I'm not going to do this. If I were to report somebody named Oprah, saying, "Well, hey, that's a copyrighted name," to CCP, do you think they would do anything about it?
Can you really copyright a name?
Yes.
Not really, no. I mean, there's people in the U.S. with the exact same name as me. The only thing that's different is the social security number, so they can't really copyright a name.
Actually, they can. Oprah is a brand. Oprah is a brand.
Trademark.
Isn't the logo and things like that copyrighted, not the Oprah word?
No, you can copyright. Okay, so trademark. And so I own trademark on the word Markee Dragon. So I own a U.S. trademark on my name. So my game name.
But you couldn't trademark Marcus and then forbid everybody to be named Marcus.
No, you can't forbid somebody to be named it, but you can forbid them to use it in any sort of commerce as a brand. And so in the game, they could say that this person named Oprah is going around as a heavyset black woman and killing everybody, and so that would tarnish Oprah's real life image, and so because of that, they want it to stop, and I think that they would have a very good case for that if Iceland is a member of the World Trade Organization. It gets really hairy in here. The World Trade Organization member countries all follow the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which also covers some of this trademark stuff. But like China doesn't. And so the games in China would just not even care. But something real interesting about copyright infringement and everything. Let's say that this description here was a direct quote of something that I had written from from one of my websites, one of my writings, or something like that, and somebody decided to copy it and put it in there. Some sort of essay or something like that. Well, that's my property. I created it, I wrote it, I own copyright on it. And so I could then go and file a Digital Millennium Copyright Act request with CCP to have them remove it. And since they're part of the WTO, they would have, I think, 7 days to either disable the viewing of it or to completely remove it. And if they don't, then they have liability in being sued as well as the person who did it. And so they're really strong-armed into removing that content. And it's really kind of a shame, but that's how it works.
You mentioned... I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, and if they don't remove it, then what you can do is you can go to their upstream connection, the company that provides the connection to them, and you can file them the same DMCA paperwork, and then they will have to cut off the connection to CCP until they get it removed. So it's really can be used as a huge weapon, but it's meant to protect. So.
Well, you mentioned it being used in essays. With essays and stuff like that, depending on what it's being used for, you have to use, you have to quote it, and you have to quote your sources. If you're using it in a paper or something like that, then as long as you are quoting it and you get permission to quote it, technically you don't even have to get permission as long as you write the resources and where you quoted it from.
An essay is typically something that is done for studies or as educational. But if you were to, let's just say you were going to write an advertisement and include that body of text in the advertisement, you could not do that, or in a book, or have a dramatic reading of it in a television show, or something like that.
This does not feel like an Eve episode.
It does not. Okay, so you're right. Okay.
Damn Oprah Winfrey.
I know. Oprah got us all off track here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, but it does come around to names and everything. And so what, I guess, so not everything is available, but would you say that Eve is probably one of the most laxed games on names?
Yeah, I mean, even though one of my friends' name is in Icelandic, his name is Pussy Eater. Pussy is like in Icelandic. So, and my other friend's name is Beitir Lunkur. It's like fatso, and I mean so.
Yeah.
Fatso isn't that bad.
No, it's not. Let's not get a R rating on this episode.
So basically, you can name it almost anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can just try to create character with inventive names and see how far you can get.
Nah, that's not my style. That's totally not my style. So, in fact, I have a hard time coming up with names.
I'll help you.
Although I will tell you that my my alt character's name is based off a famous character in a movie.
You somewhat exposed the character's name in one of the previous episodes.
Well, that's what people say. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any restriction on naming your ships or having or smacking and chat.
Yeah, that too. You can name your ship almost anything, because
I think
if you don't
can
like that
name
name,
it anything.
if you don't like that name, you can just suicide gank it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically CCPs, what they say kind of is, or a lot of players say, is that if you don't like the name, then you don't have to read it. If you don't like what's being put in text chat, you don't have to read it. And if you don't like someone's name, you don't have to view it. So
You can put bounty on that person you don't like. You can war deck that person. You can hire mercs to kill that person and have the corpse delivered. There's so many ways to get around that system.
You and your
on the
corpses.
person you don't like.
war decking
Yeah,
people, I like that method better.
I hired some mercenaries for this guy who kept bumping me in incursions because he was annoying me.
Justice.
Did you get his corpse?
I'm waiting for the corpse to be delivered. Last I heard, they potted him and got him. So now I must wait.
And the cool part is that a lot of times you can just hire these mercenaries. The mercenaries will tell the corporation that the guy's a part of, hey, we just want this one guy. And usually the corporation will unwar deck you as soon as you give us that guy, and the corporation will actually do it. They'll like set him up. It's just like, oh hey, we need you to go over here.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
Mm-hmm.
Where have I heard that line before?
Where
Marxism?
haven't you heard that line before?
I know. I actually, I heard it yesterday.
It was in the new Star Trek movie. Spock
Yeah,
said it
but
about
I wasn't
20,000
going
times.
to give any spoilers.
Spock says that in like 20 different episodes.
Yeah.
But we didn't know he says it in this one.
He said in the last one too, the last movie too.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
Spock's in there, just assume that he's going to say it.
Just assume he's going to say something smart and witty. That's plain and simple.
Who's Spock?
Who is Spock?
Jesus.
He is greater than Jesus.
Oh goodness.
Does Spock know
and
Chuck
let the
Norris?
hate flow in.
Does Spock beat Chuck Norris?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spock is in space.
So is Chuck Norris.
No, Chuck Norris is in Texas.
Yeah. Okay, well.
I'm saying that Spock trained Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I heard he killed Obi-Wan.
More spoilers.
No, no more spoilers.
Actually, the other day, my incursion group, we were talking about like Star Trek and whatnot. It's like, who would win, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Ooh.
And then who would win, Amar Empire or the Imperial Empire?
Amar.
Amar.
And, let's see here. Probably Star Trek.
The Eve universe is so over the top compared to Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
George Lucas didn't have the imagination that you guys had, that CCP had whenever they came up with
Well,
Eve.
Well, CCP
think, speaking
had
of-
Star Wars and Star Trek to base their vision off of.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, they had their goals set a lot higher.
And then how much content in EVE has really been supplied by players?
Well, we're talking about the ship sizes and things like Titans like that.
Titans are the
Our
size of
Empire
Superstar
can build
Destroyers.
like multiple Titans, deploy them simultaneously.
1 Death Star against 20 Titans. Yeah. And you thought you had a bad day.
A Titan is essentially larger than a Death Star.
Yeah.
Although
Basically.
the fighters in Star Wars have an advantage because they can enter, the hyperdrive, and in Eve you need a gate.
Well, that's not necessarily true. If you're flying a capital ship, you just need what is it, Sino and
You still have to have a destination and someone there. And to be fair, that just means that the Star Wars people can run away.
I'm sure this episode will be flagged by Star Wars, Star Trek, and who else?
You can't get flagged for talking about it. If we were doing some reading of scripts of it and something, then maybe. But just for talking about it, there's at least in the United States, there's freedom of speech.
Find a script quickly.
No,
I can
no.
see this one getting flagged for Oprah Winfrey.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to put that in the keywords. Oprah Winfrey, mass murders, many pilots. I fear that I'm going to run out of ammo. I forgot.
Oprah Winfrey, space bully.
You forgot to reload.
Yes, I forgot. So I'll see how far I can get.
Dum dum.
Maybe I can finish it.
Usually when I fly missions or anything like that, I keep a couple thousand rounds of ammunition on me at all times.
Yeah, I had started out. I think I had around 1,000 on this ship at one point, but I've been out a few times with this ship, so.
Yeah, with small weapons, you usually tend to use more ammunition anyway because of the faster fire rate.
Missiles for the win.
No lasers.
No, man, blasters burn through ammo like you would not believe.
Yeah, that's true.
Autocannon bursts through ammo.
Yeah, that's also true. Loki's and Proteuses probably burn through ammo faster than anything else, except for assault missiles, maybe. Or,
rockets, maybe.
Yeah, rockets.
Yeah, you
say
can
that.
burn through tons of ammo on a Proteus in a really short time, and because it is an expensive ship, you take expense, you take expensive ammo, so you can burn through quite a good amount, quite a short while.
Yeah, I usually my Proteuses always are fit with T2 guns and Void, and I keep a little bit of null ammo in there as well, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, I usually just use Void because it's a blast, isn't it? Yeah, so then you just hit a Proton, bump them and shoot them.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a way to get the amount of tank I had on my Proteus, that I used to have on my Proteus before I sold it. To get that on my Legion Proteus, I think I had like 120,000 EHP. I can't get anywhere near that on my Legion. Nowhere near it.
It's because the Legion's gimped.
Yeah, the Legion is gimped, but I also can't get as much firepower out of the Legion as I did on my Proteus, but I can shoot at a farther range. That's I think that's about the trade-off for that one.
I don't know.
The Legion just feels to me like a long-range support mode compared to a Proteus or a Tengu, as far as upfront personal fight style.
Yeah, but for upfront, the Loki and the Proteus are both really useful bonuses, really useful tackling substance systems.
Yeah, that's true.
The Proteus with warp scrambling and the Loki with the weapon. I have a dual weapon Loki, and that's I think I can web in with this faction with 30 or 40 kilometers. I'm not sure. So so you can practically stop a ship at quite a good range as well with the Proteus. And if you have a faction, warp scrambler, then you can stop their micro drive at a good distance.
Yeah, usually I fly those ships. I usually fly my Proteus with a Fed Navy web and a Domination warp scrim.
Yeah.
Just for, the high effectiveness of it.
Yeah, and then you close up with the Proteus and you just hack them to pieces with Void.
Yeah, I loved that Proteus, but yeah, I just stopped using it because where I'm flying now, I'm usually using lasers, and on top of that, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. What kind of fit did you have on the Proteus? Did you have a buffer fit or did you have a dual rep fit?
I had a buffer fit. It was a passive armor tank. It was meant for fleet use, but I used the thing for level 4s and stuff like that as well. Simply because I could get through any mission usually without even breaking below 20% armor.
Yeah, mine is dual rep fit with wrap rigs, so.
Yeah, I didn't really like the dual rep fit style. It seemed I had a few problems with capacitor, and I didn't really like the idea of not having the capacitor when I needed it. So I decided to go with the passive fit instead because I can use it for anything between PvP and PvE. It's a quick switch over. I keep on the Proteus. I'll use an afterburner for getting whenever I get close to the targets, and micro warp drive for getting up where the NPCs are at very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You need an item from the Rex.
Oh, from the Rex?
Yeah,
That's what I saw in the mission log.
Isn't it?
I picked up a passenger.
I think that's what he needed.
Yeah, but probably Jet can buy a rack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this. Jet. Yeah, I got this.
Okay, yeah, you've got it then.
Well, I know that you can't stop warping now. Once I started the warp, I tried to stop it, but it didn't work.
Yeah, no. Whenever you align, while the warp is building up and while you're aligning, you can stop the warp by hitting Control Space. But after the warp initiates and you actually start warping, and the warp bubble is generated, you can't stop warp. If you remember Mass Effect 3, or if you've played Mass Effect 3 at the very end, then you kind of get the general idea of what would happen there.
Screw Mass Effect. We got Star Wars and other movies. If you cancel a warp, you're probably gonna get screwed big time.
Yeah, like end up in an asteroid belt that wasn't supposed to be there.
Well, you don't really know where you are mid-warp.
That's true. You might be in the middle of a planet. Well, actually, no, I think you know if you're in the middle of a planet in warp, though, because it's kind of obvious when the bubble goes blue or black or whatever.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Can you talk at all about the next project that you're gonna go for 30 days?
Nope, not yet. Not until the paperwork's signed.
Ooh,
will it be on
big.
Twitch or just YouTube?
It will be on Twitch and maybe on YouTube as well. Well, I mean, there'll be videos just like we're doing here, but I am about to have live broadcasting abilities on my gameplay channel, which, if that's the case, then I will start broadcasting each episode live there.
I actually like the Twitch better than YouTube.
Yeah,
it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Especially
reasons,
the
and I can see what I can do is I can keep. I have the power. I have the power to broadcast to both Twitch 1080p, YouTube 1080p, and record at 1080p all at the same time. So, maybe that's what I would do. My recordings at that point, if I'm, I would be editing them up for the best of, just like this is right here that I'm editing. I'll be editing all of these. But for the raw, gameplay episodes, they'll all go to my other channel. So.
We also came up with a great drinking game for your channel.
Uh-oh. Okay. What is it?
Every time you say something like,
oh shit.
We grab a drink.
Yeah. You guys will all be plastered by the end of the episode.
I got plastered before the episode.
Well, okay.
and with Eve, it's really easy. Then we just start talking about something. Yeah, like we were talking about the ships just prior to this conversation. Did you get much of what we were talking about?
I was.
Drink.
What? 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 Huh? What? Is one of the words too?
Yeah.
That's an extra large drink. Now I'm going to be all conscious about it. I tried to break myself of that habit, but it never worked. But I can tell you that if you go back on my YouTube channel and you watch video number 1 and number 2, my 2 oldest videos, which were put up like 8 years ago now, that you will see that I have greatly improved because I have worked on it. But I finally said, screw it. You know what? This is just entertainment, and I'm just doing this. I'm not making public speeches, and so there we have it. Okay. So I'll make sure you guys get all plastered.
You need to say and oh at least 7 times every minute. Each one of those 7 times every minute.
Oh my goodness. That's
You would never get any talking done, but hey, we would all be happy and we wouldn't care.
1 every 10 seconds.
my. So okay,
Yeah,
well
So what do you want to do now?
I don't know. I think we've kind of reached maybe the end of the day. Unless we've got something else burning, we can take on within the next 40 minutes. So I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I have been going through the wiki and adding things, and we covered everything that I had today. So, and I know that I want to get IT Paladin and I for an hour going over planetary interaction, because I think everything I need to do that and to try it, just to demonstrate how it works. So
Good luck.
Well, the later it becomes, the more busy I become during the summer. So.
yeah. Ooh! I just got a severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh,
I love it. I'm hearing thunder outside. Let me pull up a thing here. Let's see here.
Yeah, pull up a thing here.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull up a thing, and we're gonna do this thing.
G-rated, remember?
Yeah.
Oh no, not a thing.
Yeah. Careful. So.
Alright.
So
Do you still have a camera pointed out your window?
no.
Can we see your browsing history?
No. Well, you can.
I was gonna say, show us a view outside.
I have submit. Come on, really?
I think that's you're doing the wrong thing.
What? Don't you have
add your name to weather.com. What the fuck?
Biscuits. Biscuits.
Biscuits, yeah, there we go.
What the biscuits?
What the biscuits? Okay, see, it's 88 degrees here and severe thunderstorms. I love it.
Markee, you have no idea how many times I've looked up at my other monitor on my TV, and I thought that someone was controlling my computer, like what they would do at a school or something like that whenever they take your computer over. And I've been tripping badly. I just look up and all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, Google Chrome's, why is my Google Chrome doing something I'm not? What? I have two cursors, what?
Looks like I'm about to catch the edge of that. Maybe I should go outside and film an episode.
Yeah, I think so.
The purple. Oh, look at that. The purple is mix of ice. It's 88 degrees out.
So maybe you will be outside in a hailstorm. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Markee's getting iced.
You know what? I didn't even
Stop
think.
talking.
I didn't even.
Him to stay inside.
I didn't even think about that. You know, we moved here at the end of hurricane season and the severe storm season, and we're just about to enter it again. I live in an area that has the second most lightning in the world. Rwanda has more lightning than us, and so we'll have storms that'll move through that'll have, we'll have 100,000 lightning strikes in an afternoon. And my house here has been hit with lightning before. And I found out that's why I have the breakers on almost all of our outlets here, because of lightning strikes. And in fact, I was going to shoot another thing. I bought 8 UPSs. I bought, you can't see my video here, but I bought 8 of these, and so they're just little ones, but I just wanted some simple UPSs on stuff like the TV and the DVR and stereo system and stuff like that, because of this stuff. And but here's what I wasn't thinking about. I've been parking my motorcycle in the garage and not worrying too much about the car. But, we could have hail that's like 2 inches in diameter here and stuff. And, I'm starting to hear stuff hit the house. And so, it's... God, I wish I had my setup up and running. I bought all the cabling and everything so I can film outside live. But do you hear that? We're about to get hammered here, I think. So, anyway, my car could be destroyed. I could have all the windows broken out of it and everything.
It's the nice car.
No, it's a piece of crap car, but it's my only car, so I don't have the money to replace it. So yeah,
just take an umbrella over top of it.
Cannot replace.
What kind of car do you have?
It's like a 12-year-old Honda Accord.
So it's the nicest car you have.
That's the only car I have right now. My motorcycle is a Goldwing. My motorcycle's worth a lot more than the car.
Just take an umbrella.
You have a hail just heading your way. If the purple one's hail.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go stick an umbrella over it. It'll be fun.
I think it's time to go start filming. So.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ooh, I have 3 alerts now. What's this? My phone's showing 3 alerts now. So maybe we have tornado warnings now too.
Yeah. So the 4th one is that foretelling the end of the world, or?
Yeah. So, Okay, well, I think this is the end of this episode, and actually the end of the live stream. So tomorrow we'll no, not tomorrow. I do have a show tomorrow, but it's not for Eve. Our next Eve date will be Thursday, and we shall continue on with our adventure, and maybe we shall work on plans for our drunken Rome on the last day. Start figuring that stuff out. Start getting everybody lined up to do it, and I think that'll be fun. So, okay, thank you everybody, and take care. Let's see here, and Ink, I'll be with you in just a moment.
Help.
Take care, everybody.